I'm so happy to bring you something brand new from Creative Expressions. It's called Gilding Polish. And if you loved Glitter Kiss, take a look at this.
It has a metallic finish, so nice, bright, shiny, and that great sponge applicator.
And we've got lots of projects using it. And scrapbookers, we've got something for you too. Come play with us. Well, here they are, 6 new colors.
And they all come in 50 milliliter little jars, and they're just really beautiful. And they've got that sponge applicator. And I want to show you that one more time, because if you try to open this by pulling it off or twisting it,
it won't work.
It won't work. You have to push it to the side, and then it just pops right open.
Right.
And these are wonderful. We're using them over and over in tech, as long as you clean it off afterwards in a nice hot, or warm soapy water. Even without the soap, I've had it.
It'll work.
Come pretty clean, and it doesn't like pill up or break apart or anything. It's wonderful.
So you can see the color combination here, the color gray, and this silver is Silver Dream. It kind of looks similar to this, but this is a pearl and it's white.
Right.
So don't want that to be confusing. So
but each of these have this great metallic finish. So you've got gold, purple, silver, beautiful pink, kind of a teal blue, and that white.
Yes.
And this first project that you see it on is just so beautiful.
You're gonna love it, and it just goes on beautifully. Now, this has been done with an embossing folder, and it is a new one by Sizzix. These are 3D, so they are very deep, and isn't that just beautiful? And this is with the silver, isn't it?
It is. This is with, well, wait a minute. No, this is with the white one.
With the
with
pearl
that
luster.
White. See,
okay.
it's got this beautiful white look
Yeah.
to it. I'm pretty sure it's the pearl
Very
one.
beautiful.
Just gorgeous. But I do want to show you first about that 3D embossing folder, something about it. It is a really kind of
orange.
a unique look. It is orange. It's got that silk screen on the front. It's really thick on that top layer, not like a regular embossing folder. It's pretty thick, and that's how you get these really deep impressions. So it's just really deeply cut in there and on both sides. So when you use this, go ahead and put your cardstock inside there like that. So your cardstock is inside of that embossing folder. If I was going to use my Big Shot die cutting machine, normally for cutting I'm going to keep it like this, but for this embossing folder, number one, I'm going to open it all the way down to the bottom. So I've got that platform that takes away a little bit of that layer because it's a thicker embossing folder. I'm also going to place it right on that platform and only put one.
Not between the sandwich.
Not between the sandwich, but only put one on top. Now, if you emboss and you feel like it didn't do much, put a couple of pieces of cardstock in there, but you only really need one of these.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure you know that. They also recommend with this embossing folder that you spritz the cardstock with just a little bit of water.
Because it's so deep.
It's going to soften it up so you're not going to get a tearing action because it's such a deep impression. And this is what it looks like afterwards. So nice, deep, really, you can see lots of shadows in there.
And I think the difference in the 3D is that normally with an embossing folder, the raised images are all the same level. With this 3D, they are multiple levels.
And they are shaped. You're getting this curved edging, and you're not getting that with lots of other embossing folders.
It's really pretty.
So I've got my little sponge popped off. I've got this open. And I'm going to take just a little bit of it. Now, here's a tip from Susan. For this one, she didn't want to completely cover this. She just wanted a little bit on her sponge. So after she did that, she got a piece of scratch paper or something else, and she rubbed it off. Oh, you can't see that white on there at all, but she rubbed it off until it was
What are you rubbing off, Gail?
Right, the gilding
go.
polish. You can see it on there. It's shiny too because it's metallic. Until she got just a very little bit on that sponge, just a hint of it, and then she started just barely, and she didn't push down, she just barely touched it. And she said the nature of doing this is that you're going to get a little bit on the background. She got a bit of a halo, but it really stands out on those high up 3D areas. Just such a beautiful
look. So you just kind of keep going over it. And this is what you have when you're done, just beautiful. And I do think, just like the Glitter Kiss, the thing with the gilding polish is a little goes a long way.
Right.
So you don't want to just do a heavy coverage on an embossing folder like this.
Right.
And this is also using the silver linen. You can see that in the background. And also that shiny red is from the Crafter's Companion sets of cardstock, and this has a glitter, a mirror, and a matte finish.
I love those kits because you've got all three of those finishes, but they really, just a little bit of it goes a long way.
And on the inside, just one of the flowers. I think that's
beautiful.
just great. And I like the bigger mat of the silver linen.
So just one of the flowers, meaning that she just cut that out after
Right.
she embossed it. She cut that piece out to mat. On the front of
polished it.
these same dazzles are used on the front. Those are the card greetings dazzles. They're nice and long. But Susan used silver metallic StazOn ink to change the color.
And we thought, well, Susan, why didn't you use the gilding polish? Well, the gilding polish
is water-based, and so it's not going to stay on there. It's just
Yeah.
going to sort of pill up a little, or not pill up, but anyways, it's water-based.
It's not going to stick.
It's not going to stick.
Right.
So StazOn
So
is
you've got
important
all
for
of
that.
that. So the gilding polish is metallic, and that's the beauty. It's also very opaque. So here is another take on another embossing folder. This is again a 3D. And you can see the teal and the purple has been done.
Right. So
And
isn't that beautiful? Look, I like using that embossing folder twice and getting two different colors there. But she started by embossing the piece. So here is white. It actually started with white cardstock. Susan embossed it and got that nice deep embossing effect. And then she used the purple. This is really well used. So there's lots of colors
and
all
messy.
over it.
Yours will be clean.
She used the sponge, and this time she didn't wipe off that sponge. She used it to really solidly coat that image.
And then you can really see how opaque it is.
Right.
It just goes on and
if you need it to be, yeah, right. I mean, you can see if you skirt just a little bit around the edge, it's going to get, but really just one quick little pass gives you a pretty opaque look, really thick. And then she wanted a little bit of white on top of that, so she just got out her white, and I've still, I think, got a little bit of it on the sponge, and she just barely touched it again.
so this is backed with the
just
pearl
to
luster.
highlight. It does dry pretty quickly too, by the way. Just a little note, a side note on
That's
that.
nice.
But just adding a little bit of highlighting, and that finished look is just gorgeous.
So this layer back here is with the teal, and then the purple, I think it's called amethyst on top, and then the pearl on top of that. And on the inside, again, a little strip. So just adding that finish. Now, in the 3D embossing folders, there are 3 of them. We've shown you these 2, but there's also a third one. So just to make sure that you have all the information.
And let's see, they are, I don't know the names of them just by looking at them.
Well, they're right there.
There they are. They're beautiful.
And at Paper Wishes, you can look and see all of the
Check out
and
the gallery for
yeah.
all of this. So this one is very kind of leafy and just gorgeous.
Yeah, so 3D is the technique.
Right.
And the stamp that was used on the card they just showed you is heart to heart. So just wanted to show you.
Nice.
You are one of a kind, it says, and then on the inside, my kind. Really nice. Now, embossing folders, beautiful look. What else can we do? Well, let's look at a stencil and see what that can happen.
Isn't
Isn't
that beautiful?
that gorgeous?
Okay, you have to lift it up and make it
Okay,
shine a little bit.
let me make it shine.
It really does
Wow.
shine.
Now this is 2 colors. This is this pink has been done as well as the teal.
The teal done on top of it. So starting with white cardstock again, which shows you how well that coverage is. It's just nice and thick. You can put more than one layer on if you want, but Susan did start with the pink. She used the sponge directly from the bottle and just went in circles, little circular motion. You want to get the whole piece. I did a little bit so that you could see how what nice coverage that is. And then she went to the teal. So I've got that, and I've got that beautiful butterfly stencils. You can place that wherever you like. You can also, by the way, tape that in place. That'll make it a little easier for you to use, but I'm just going to show you a little bit of this technique.
Now in all the other things, we've talked about a circular or a sweeping motion.
Right.
In the stencil, Susan did something different.
Right. Instead of going in a circular motion, I mean, if I did that here, I run the risk of pushing the gilding polish underneath the stencil.
Right.
And I don't want that to happen, so we're just going to pounce up and down.
So we tap, tap, tap.
So tap, 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 and just go, and I'm going to continue until I've got it all over. You're going to get it kind of thick in that way. You don't want the paint really thick. You just want that layer to be fully covered. So if I keep doing that, and then I check, I look, well, how am I doing? And then go back and do a little more. And when it's completely done, then I'm going to remove that stencil before it dries. You definitely want to remove the stencil because you don't want it sticking in place. So let's take a look at how we've done just in that one little area. It only took that long.
Yeah.
Nice coverage right in the middle there. And that's what you'll do all the way around. I kind of like the hazy look too. You could make it a solid look.
And you can see how important it is that it's opaque, that you can layer it like this.
Right. It's not going to change the color of it. It's still going to be just gorgeous.
Right. And so here is the finished card. Isn't that just striking? Just so fun. We've done the silver border dazzles around it and the inside-outside dazzles for our greeting. So our happy birthday. And then on the inside, just a little bit of a scattering of those butterflies and celebrate.
That's really
is
fun.
Right there.
I also want to point out for these little butterflies on the front, Susan just did one little, she just took the blue, took a scrap of cardstock and painted it blue with the gilding polish, let it dry, and then she placed a dazzle on it, used it to back that dazzle.
Really easy to do, and the dazzle is part of this package, so you don't have to go anywhere else.
The inside-outside greetings. So that's cool. You get all of those greetings, plus you get little embellishments too, so you can finish your cards.
Absolutely. Now, okay, so we go embossing folder stencils.
Right.
How about stamping on it?
It works.
Now this is the new Art Nouveau. Now we haven't done a webisode on this stamp yet, but we will. But it just works so beautifully right here.
It comes with a whole collection. You get the papers and everything. So this is the look that you're seeing. And the gilding polish was used to create this silver piece.
Right.
So that silver background is just gilding polish that was spread across white cardstock. Again, you let it dry, and then Debbie stamped on that in black StazOn.
And then she colored in with Spectrum Noir pens.
Right.
Very neat. Very
really
nice to be able to use.
Right, to be able to use those on top of there. And so that's a really fun look. Matches the papers perfectly.
Yes, and this is the Charleston Collection, and I'll open this up so you can see on the inside. And we've got another one right there. Very, very pretty, very striking. Now, scrapbookers, I promised you a page, and you will not be disappointed. Look at this.
Isn't that great? Okay.
Okay, we need to get in close.
Fun day at the aquarium.
Yes, but look at this.
So beautiful.
Look at all the colors.
Multicolored seahorses.
Go down to the bottom where we've got all of these seaweed and coral. And all of that has been done. Well, number one, this has all been done with the seahorse's cutting die, and it has also that kelp or seaweed, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But look at the colors that are in there.
So you just create this piece, then you can do all of these, your die cutting with it, with that beautiful surface.
So what does that look like?
I'm going to show you. It's kind of nondescript. It's very kind of strange looking, but they do blend, or you can leave it kind of stripy. And Debbie said she just used every different color practically and went all over this. She said if she wanted to blend it a little more, that she could go in after with a wet paintbrush and blend it. Just swipe it a little bit.
To know.
But then when you get that, then you start die cutting and you get these looks.
Look at that. Let's get in closer. I just think this is so stunning.
Now, see, someone might have thought, well, just make one color of each one and then cut them out. But I love the idea of mixing the colors together. It really gives this sort of an underwater look with all of the different colors sort of
I think that would be pretty with flowers or with blooming trees. I mean, just
Right.
a lot of different
Vines,
things.
all kinds of fun
Now, the seahorses, in fact, you can really see on this one that the top piece was variegated, and then it was backed with a solid piece.
Right, so do make your solid pieces, in this case with the gold, and then use that to back your seahorses.
And this one's a little more, again,
Beautiful.
metallic, and with the pinks and the purples and the blues. Just,
And I love it on those papers,
yes,
that's just perfect.
very fun.
Those are our seaside papers, I
They are-
believe.
I think
Okay.
you're right. So you
So-
can see we've got the gilding polish. You want to pull it
Yeah,
in?
so all
And-
of those beautiful colors.
And what's nice is that you can use it on so many things that you already have.
Right.
Stencils, cutting dies, embossing folders.
Plus they're water-based, so it's really easy to
Yeah.
clean up. You can play with these, and they have nice tight lids to keep them nice for any time you open them up.
Right, they're not
And
drying
that
out.
nice little one more time, pop to the
side.
side to open.
And we do have the new 3D embossing folder. So this is going to be a separate money saver from the gilding polish.
Okay.
And we'll see you again next week.
Bye-bye.